Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuffs, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Oh, I didn't want to skip that. ID card is used. The rest of it, I don't see a point in pressing that. Detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. What have I got? I don't know. I'm really confused. Enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used... maybe I have to do the video again. Let's have a look at the video. Why can't I fast forward here? I should be able to fast forward here. This is frustrating. Because that would give me an idea of maybe if there's something here. Okay, so we've done that one. Officer Meekin's coming. But there's no kind of scene of like, this is the card, is there? Okay. Oh! At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Okay, I'm going to save. I'm going to present the card because this was found at the prosecutor's office. And the music stopped. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. Or anything else, for that matter. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No, when I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. You know, the one we're actually trying. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half complete. But it shows Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. And that's why he couldn't write the ID number. Something important enough to fill out his report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? Oh, and then he got a new one. I see. It can only mean one thing. Doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. And the picture would have been different. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. Yes, this kind of goes back to... This now proves that he wasn't in 2 places at one time. So actually, yes. So, yeah. Because this is weird, we're now investigating the wrong crime. We should go, well, we can't know who killed Officer Goodman, because was it the person here? So Officer Meekins doing it, or was it my client? How can we know that? And we've kind of fallen into his trap, haven't we? The locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? He's proving that, Bruce Goodman wasn't killed in 2 places. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you've finally realised exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defence has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake. Which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Ms. Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. I wouldn't go that far. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of the way? Out of this mess. Object. Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? Almost. This cross-examination's proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. I mean, yes. Okay. And what are you going to say it shows? However, it cannot be said that it's unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. If the prosecution... Is the prosecution prepared? I don't know, his voice is wandering. I think it's becoming more K9 from Doctor Who at this point. I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name. If before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Well, I mean, we want a Texas Ranger, I mean... And it's the person who we've got the fingerprint of. Yeah. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Yeah, why wasn't he kind of looking over the cameras? The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Gavel, gavel, gavel. Right, back in the lobby. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. You kind of are, Gumshoe. Awkward. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Poor Gumshoe. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Oh, you got a lot of nerve, pal, making Detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, I may not be able to do much beyond this next bit of trial. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? That's fraud. Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Skye was a witness? Joe Dark killings. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Nah, that's the celiac disease. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in here? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. The... Joe Dark. No. No, Lana. That's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere else. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. So, oh flip, are we gonna end up proving who actually did this? You know, like the last case we just did. Ugh. It's a worse case. And it's basically the same as the last one, but worse. Yes, we'll save. I think I've got time. Not sure if my throat does. Wait, no, I wanted to read the case. Right, the court will now reconvene for the trial of... No, the court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. Oh, I can do it. I can do it. Charge of... Right. Incident number SL9. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Serial murder. Sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana and Emma Sky. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall. One of the victims was Neil Marshall. That's not great. Right. May have to have another look through that at some other point when we need more evidence. Witness, please state your name and occupation, and you probably shouldn't be drinking while testifying. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind call it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum him up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain English. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent travelling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.